we're here for the tweeds and the cars and the hats.
Time to get gussied up one more time for Downton Abbey, the grand finale. Is it really the grand finale? I guess so. Everything kind of wraps up in a tidy, satisfying fashion, but who knows? Come hang out with us. We reviewed the first two of these. We'll have links to that at the end. Yeah, if you are a Downton Abbey person, we are here for you. And Alonzo, you are much more of an expert on the show. I am. So please describe what happens here.
But the future of Downton Abbey is now in Mary's hands.
You will be a sensation.
I have been watching since the get-go. So yeah, we also got a nice tidy bow in the last Downton Abbey movie. So this one, it's sort of like, what's left to do with these characters? Answer, not tons. So Lady Mary is divorced, and this causes shock and scandal among polite London society. If this sounds familiar, perhaps you too just watched season 3 of The Gilded Age, where women who get divorced getting shunned by their fancy society friends was a major subplot.
She can go hang out with Aurora Fane on Newport.
Exactly.
Hot to trot divorces.
There's too bad it's 50 years later. There's also or 40. There's also a subplot about somebody who used to be downstairs who now gets to go upstairs, and that also was in the Gilded Age. Anyway, so the Crawley family is trying to work out how they're going to sort of move into the future. It's 1930, the Depression has happened, and Mary is ready to kind of take over the estates and deal with the farmers. But of course, Lord what's his name? Grantham is still hesitant about passing along the reins. The gay actor who shot the talkie at Downton Abbey in the first movie is still with Barrow, and they're chummy with Noël Coward, and he's going to become a major part of the plot and sing a few songs along the way, because why not? There's also intrigue, or not intrigue so much, but also unwilling to pass over the reins is Mr. Bates. Not Mr. Bates. God, there's too many characters. Carson, thank you. Sorry.
Who watches this show? Who knows this show? Come on.
I need a murder board in front of me. Carson is unwilling to pass along the reins to the new butler. He keeps showing up to make sure the silver's been polished just so. Mrs. Patmore is having a much easier time of letting Daisy take over in the kitchen. She's been training her for that for years. And Lady Edith is, for me, the standout here, because you do not fuck with Lady Edith. When this show started, she was the kind of mealy-mouthed doormat, didn't like Mary because Mary was the pretty one and no one pays attention to Edith and me. And Edith now is like, will run your ass over if you get in her way. So yeah, she's a delight to watch. Also, because it's 1930 and everybody's dealing with financial problems, Harold, played by Paul Giamatti, who is the sister of Cora, Lady Grantham, played by Elizabeth McGovern, pops up. He has a mysterious financial advisor with him, played by Alessandro Nivola, and he just has bad news written over on top of his head in neon, but a newly divorced and several bottles of champagne in Mary may think otherwise. So yeah, it's we're here for the tweeds and the cars and the hats. They go to Ascot for the races. So there's production value for days here between the Noël Coward show on the West End and the Ascot races and the county agricultural fair. This movie is bringing you that stuff. If you've never watched Downton, this is not where you want to start. But if you sat through all 6 seasons of the show and the first 2 movies, and you want another taste of this crazy world where rich people are nice to their servants, then yeah, go for it.
We are sorely missing Dame Maggie Smith here, of course.
Alas,
who is
yes.
no longer with us, but her presence looms large, literally in the form of a giant portrait that hangs in the entryway to Downton and sort of like scowls down upon them at all times.
Penelope Wilton has kind of picked up the mantle of like the older lady with a tart tongue.
Yeah, she has some choice lines here for sure. I did not watch the actual television show of Downton Abbey, but I did see the first 2 movies, and I wasn't totally lost. But what I understand is that if you were deeply steeped in Downton lore, then you will appreciate individual details and lines and things in ways that I didn't get it.
Sure. For sure. Yeah. there's a reference to Mr. Pamuk, who is the guy that died after having sex with Mary in season 1.
Okay.
So, little things like that, little Easter eggs that, to pat you on the head for keeping up with all of these characters.
A callback. Yeah.
Exactly.
I think if you want a cozy, gentle escape, then this is for sure it. Just like luxury, as you said, in the clothes and the houses. When the cars first pull up to the house and they play the theme, like that's all very sweeping. And of course, Noël Coward's very charming, and he and Dominic West, very delightful. And everyone though is in flux in this. In the beginning, everyone has a great deal of uncertainty, financial uncertainty, the shifting social mores as far as who is willing to be in the same room with Lady Mary now that she is divorced and will surely bring shame on all of us by association. It's a funny idea, But then if she just left this world, she could be free and do whatever she wants in, like, Paris, for example. But she loves
wants to run that estate, damn it.
She loves the house, and so she can't leave. I enjoyed this. It's a little over 2 hours, but doesn't feel it. It moves along in a nice enough clip because they do bounce back and forth between the upstairs and the downstairs, and the stuff with the farm animals was not nearly so interesting to me, but it does allow for a nice little comeuppance. I guess this is part of what happens in Yorkshire and is a source of great power and pride to run the farm animal carnival.
Apparently it's a very big deal because Penelope Wilton's character actually lets Daisy and Mr. Carson be part of the process. And of course, the local Lord Fluffinfold is all about it, but the times they are changing in 1930, sort of, kind of. Artie Fruscian, by the way, British stage actor, is the one who plays Noël Coward. And he's very charming.
The trick that they pull off here is that everybody is exactly who you want them to be, exactly who they've always been, and yet they also change.
Yes. Well, I think at one point, Dave made a joke about it. At some point, this show leaned toward making everybody really nice. So Thomas, the former footman who's now involved with Dominic West, he was a treacherous gay for most of the series, and rightfully so, because he was closeted and angry about it. But he like I said, in the second movie, everybody kind of gets their happy ending. Everybody gets all sort of cozily and tidily, tucked in. And so this movie's we're going to untuck you a little, but then we're going to tuck you back in again.
I enjoyed it. It was a nice way to spend the afternoon. So if you would like just a nice, pleasant afternoon, this is a movie for you. But yeah, you're right. If you've never seen any of this at all, you'll be super lost. Why does it matter? I will say a 7.6. It's a nice movie. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm a straight up 7. It is a pleasant time.